Game changer alert. Sonible is on fire, and they just added a new processor to the beloved Smart family. If you're like me, you were hoping and waiting for this long overdue. Smart deess is the new plugin and is so much more than just a deesser. This is probably gonna be not only the only and last deesser that you're gonna need, but the ultimate tool to clean up your vocals. Let's take a look at it. Hello everyone, welcome back to McSolaar TV. Hope you guys are having a great day. Before we start, please check the info box down below. In there you will find the link to Sonible deess, free plugins, special discounts and offers. And if you haven't already, please go check out the new website, mixbesttv.com. In there you will find all the new mix and mastering courses and the old one as well, including the two latest releases, Mixing Hip Hop and EDM 2023. Soon to be released, Mixing Rock 2023. In there you can also book mix consultation, private lesson, mix and mastering, production, and much more. And if you want to up your mix and mastering skills, click the join button down here, become a MixBestTV member, access the exclusive content, and much more. And if you like the content, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Let's get to the video. Get comfortable because, like I said in the intro, this is much more than just a deesser. It's packed with features and it's a little bit of a game changer. First of all, we start with a resizable GUI like all the new Sonible plugins, the classic clear and sleek color scheme, green and blue on black background. And while I always say don't mix with your eyes, this plugin provides arguably the best visual aids than any other plugin out there. In fact, for me to show you all the functions, we have to run some audio through it without playing it actually. We start with the analyze button at the top like all the other smart processors by Sonible. We play our audio. The plugin is gonna analyze vocals. This plugin is specifically created for vocals. And once the audio is analyzed, we'll give you the starting point, the suggested settings, which I can tell you right now work perfectly 90% of the time. It's crazy. And this is thanks to the fact that this plugin has two different smart engines that actually are smart and work extremely well. One for the sibilants at the bottom here in green, and one for the plosives. But by plosives, with this plugin, we don't mean only the P and B sounds. We mean all those harsh consonants like K, Ch, that are not sibilants. They get treated by a different brain and engine and algorithm inside the plugin, and you will see how easy it is to clean up a vocal with this processor, and it's painless. But let's start by explaining what is that we are seeing. At the top we have the histogram. This is our input signal, and you can see everything in green is our sibilants and everything in blue is our plosives or harsh sounds. Below that we have our waveform view, and again you can see the blue ones are our plosives, the green our sibilants, and the gray of course is untouched signal. Here in the middle we have our gain reduction, which is also mirrored here in this meter on the right with precise measurements, and also our max gain reduction. With this slider we can decide how our max reduction, no matter how much we push our suppression knobs. Which brings me to the controls. We have one set of controls for the sibilants on and off. We can monitor our sibilants, and then we have the suppression. This is, as you can see from the graphic, how much we reduce those sibilants. And we have the shaping. The shaping changes the character of those sounds, and you will see experimenting with it allows you to tailor and fine-tune the sounds of those sibilants or harsh sounds, because sometimes it's not just a matter of level, how loud they are. Sometimes they are slightly distorted or saturated, and the shaping knobs helps softening those sounds. It's pretty crazy. Then in the middle we have a very cool function. It's called color. It has three settings: soft, balanced, and sharp. This re-injects some brightness to the sibilants, because sometimes with deesser, yes, you get rid of the sibilants, but they become too dark and the performance, the vocal performance, misses that spark and that shiny top end that, you know, it's often needed, especially on hip hop and pop. With this one, you can re-inject that brightness in without being harsh, and actually I very much like the sharp setting. Same controls for the plosives minus the color, and then we have an overall speed control, slow, mid, and fast, for how fast the processor reacts to the material. We have an output meter and then a spectral shaping, which again right now is showing the gain reduction, but we also have an additional function. Right now I'm running it in full range. I can change this in split band, and you can see if I do this, I can limit the bandwidth of both the sibilance range and the plosive range. And as you can see, I can also overlap it. This is amazing. Most of the times you want to use this in full range because again, the two types of offending sounds are treated differently and processed differently. But if you really want to fine tune or you have a particular problem that doesn't seem to be solved in full range, then you can switch to split band and really tailor it. Lastly, very welcome for me, has a mix knob, because with de-essers, 9 times out of 10, I kind of blend a little bit of dry signal. So this is one of the most comprehensive and helpful visual aid that I've seen in a plugin. Without further ado, let's hear how it sounds. I already analyzed this vocal. We start with a vocal sample, which very often nowadays are pre-processed, pre-EQ'd, and they sound harsh and brittle. Without first.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. The DJ spinning records round and round.
All right. There's a lot of S's, a lot of harsh sounds with it.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass, feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it. The DJ spinning records round and round.
That alone is already impressive. And I didn't use the default setting, the suggested settings. I touched a little bit the suppression on the sibilance, backed off the suppression on the plosive, backed off the shaping a little bit to make it more natural. But we start with this word here, bass, without it.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass.
And with it.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass.
And right now I'm 100% and I'm applying some serious gain reduction. We can either back this off a little bit.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass. Feel the
and it's already more natural, or I can keep the suppression high and just use the mix knob.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass. Feel the rhythm, feel the bass.
It sounds already like the best de-esser I've ever heard, but I want to focus and want to grab a little longer bit here, and I want you to hear if I solo the plosives.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhythm.
And you will hear more examples later on. So the plosives are not, and I said that in the intro already, but I want to stress it, is not just the plosive sound like a B and P's, the blast of air hitting the microphone capsule. That it's included, but it's all the other harsh sounds that are not sibilants, and this is why this is the ultimate cleaning tool for vocal. If we solo the sibilants, so it's pretty amazing right there.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass. Feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it.
Without again.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass. Feel the rhythm, move your feet. It's time to move it.
It kind of takes the digital edge away, right? It kind of works like a piece of analog that rounds off things. It's beautiful.
Feel the rhythm, feel the bass. Feel the rhythm, move your feet.
It's kind of crazy, especially looking at all the blue sounds that get removed. I can see how some inexperienced engineer, without offending anybody, don't even realize what frequencies and what sounds need to be attenuated for a vocal to sound radio ready and record ready. And I think this is also going to be a great learning tool for people. Let's change sample. Without, again, I already analyzed this voice.
It's you, it's all for you. Everything I do, tell you all the time. Heaven is a place on earth with you. Tell me all the things you wanna do.
Okay, so she was very, very close to the microphone. This happens all the time. So there's a lot of noises and the hard sounds and sibilants are emphasized because of the close proximity to the microphones. But in performances like that, especially soft singing, is unavoidable. That's how it needs to sound, right? This, listen to this with it now.
It's you, it's all for you. Everything I do, tell you all the time. Heaven is a place on earth with you. Tell me all the things you wanna do.
And this is completely raw, unprocessed, other than this. Once again, from the beginning.
It's you, it's all for you.
With it.
It's you, it's all for you. Everything I do.
Let's solo both plosives and sibilants. So incredibly cool, and to have all this visual aid, it's pretty amazing. If I go to this other bit here, this is also interesting. Without
dropped a pin to my parking spot. The bar was hot, it's 2 a.m. Feels like summer.
Okay, so here we have everything. S's, the actual plosives, the mouth noises, everything. And this stuff gets doubled, tripled, quadrupled when you send the vocal to effects. With this one on,
dropped a pin to my parking spot. The bar was hot, it's 2 a.m. Feels like summer.
absolutely incredible. Without,
dropped a pin to my parking spot.
with it,
Dropped a pin to my parking spot.
it's pretty awesome. Let me just solo the plosives here. All right, you hear now. I'm pretty sure this is a good example. You understand every hard sound that is either not supposed to be there or is going to be exacerbated when you send it to heavy compression or to a compression in general. If you want to saturate, if you want to enhance in any way, all those sounds will be exaggerated, will start sounding hard and harsh and distorted. So this is the perfect pre-processing before sending your vocals to a compressor, to effects, and it preps your vocals, in this case, with both plosives and sibilants for the very common top lift that we need in modern music. I want to show you the differences in the color settings. So for this one, balance is the best. This makes a difference, especially when you start suppressing a lot. So soft first.
Dropped a pin to my parking spot.
All right, balanced.
Dropped a pin to my parking spot.
And you will hear sharp is too much for this voice.
Dropped a pin to my parking spot.
So you will find the best settings very, very easily. In this case, balanced is the best. It adds a little bit of air and brightness back to only, by the way, what's suppressed. And this is why, another reason why it's so important to have a visual representation. This processor does not disappoint. Let's play a different part.
Happiness is a butterfly. Try to catch it like every night.
With it.
Happiness is a butterfly. Try to catch it like every night. It escapes from my hands.
And we can back this one off a little bit and maybe just use the mix knob and let some of the dry signal coming in.
Happiness is a butterfly. Try to catch it like every night.
And also we can again go from full range to split band if we have problems and that we cannot solve in full range. And one cool thing you can see, I think I mentioned it already, but you can overlap the frequency band between the plosives and the sibilants. So sometimes, for example, you don't want to go all the way up with the sibilants. You want to keep like the 18K, 20K pretty free of processing. But the problems are more between the 2K range and the 6K range, right? Like this for S's especially. So you can actually tailor that range. We can solo the sibilants again. Okay, and then we can also tailor the plosives. That's amazing. We have a processor that takes care of those sounds. We can actually go higher with this. So if you want to use the plosives just for the plosives, so the blast of air on the mic, you keep it low. But this thing is amazing because it's so transparent and you can go as high as you want. And both together. Absolutely incredible the way how accurately it recognizes those sounds. When I said this is really smart, this is really smart.
Happiness is a butterfly. Try to catch it like every night. It escapes from my hands into...
Let's do another example here. Rap vocal, I'm gonna reanalyze this voice, even though I already did, just to make sure.
It's theater clowns, it's robbing season, I'ma beat 'em, fucking kneel 'em down. And I'm OG like Montana, I don't mean French or henna, more like Tony.
All right, we have our analysis. Let's go back in full range.
Y'all some bottom feeders, theater clowns. It's robbing season, I'ma beat 'em, fucking kneel 'em down. Make 'em cop a plea for freedom, leave 'em bleeding out. I'm Carlito, mob leader, Don Vito, Nino Brown.
As you can see, this vocals doesn't have many sibilants. There's not many problems with sibilants, but we have a bunch of plosives. Let's solo those. All right, all those sounds, when you send, especially rap vocals, to heavy compression, a distressor, a fatso, an 1176, they will start distorting and they will start to sound unpleasant. And many times, many non-experienced mixing engineers don't even understand why. They think maybe it's the compressor, or maybe it's the settings of the compressor. No, it's because you need to clean the vocal with something like this. Well, something like this. Before this, we had to do it manually and it was a nightmare and it took so long. But you need to prep your vocals and be as smooth as possible for them to be able to abuse them with compression, saturation, EQ, various parallel and effects. This saves so much time, I can't even wrap my head around it.
And I'm OG like Montana, I don't mean French or henna, more like Tony from Havana.
What a cool plugin. What can I say? Hats off to Sonible. I was expecting something at high level from Sonible, but I wasn't expecting this. This is pretty darn amazing. And I think this is it for the video. The link to Sonible deess is going to be in the info box down below. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below, or if you have questions. If you like the content, please consider using the super thanks. If you haven't already, go and check out the new website, mixbuzztv.com. Click the join button, become a MixBuzz TV member, access the exclusive content, you get mix consultations included, and a lot more. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.